resistance. I mean, you could say it's greater resistance because the opponents are probably going to be harder if you're on winner's side all the time, but you also just have to fight a lot less good opponents.
But if you do have the stamina to be able to do it, you can build up a tremendous amount of momentum.
Yes.
It's like a train that's been going. It's very hard to stop a train.
And we're going to see if the train can be stopped by Flamethrower as he's sticking on to Ember, going to Small Brawlhalla, one of the smallest, if not the smallest, map that's available in the competitive 1v1 map pool. Fighting for top 3. Game number 1's underway, and Blue is keeping Flamethrower starved, similar to how Flamethrower's last opponent, Zero, was trying to do in the middle of the match. But Blue's done a better job of anybody else that we've casted so far today, you and I personally, of keeping these weapons away. Look, Flamethrower still hasn't picked up anything. This happened last match, too. Finally, a favorable spawn for Flamethrower. Finds the bow, and is now able to engage in proper combat with his opponent. Blue, getting hit by that bow and arrow, is sent towards the top of the stage and tosses the weapon away, and Flamethrower cleverly being able to jump above it and using that jump to lead into a downer, but Blue has him off stage, and the ground pound itself was enough to cause Flamethrower to fall and lose his first stock.
Now,
such an early KO.
Change of pace definitely got the better of Zero before. Now, Blue is one of the best players in EU. Arguably the best at this point. So I don't know if this change of pace that Flamethrower has is going to be able to overcome Blue like it did Zero. But these two have never faced in PR tournament set before. Like, this is their first time.
We're watching it happen in the moment and watching Blue going for that ground pound and getting turned around. Flamethrower, however, went a little bit too deep, got the recovery, was able to make it back, and that side sig just not. So that's interesting what happened. Flamethrower gravity canceled the side sig, and because of where he gravity canceled it, the animal companion connected into the ground earlier than it usually would, not traveling as far and giving Blue perfect position to be able to punish with the down sig. If Flamethrower was just a little bit higher, it may have connected with the Blue and completely turned that around. Instead, Blue, 2 stocks above, and going for so many ground pound reads off the side of the stage, and why not? 2 stocks ahead, you can do whatever you want. The recovery is able to take him off the top, but that's just the first stock. Flamethrower already in orange.
He does have Blue without a weapon at this point. Cancel that. That's not true anymore. Immediately picks up those guitars, and you're seeing these signatures coming out, and Flamethrower is absolutely in kill percent before. We saw the signature kill earlier in orange. That almost killed. If that wasn't on stage, I think that probably maybe bounced him off of the stage. So it took a little bit away the momentum, but Blue might find another D-Light recovery. Looking for the side air. It's just going to be an unarmed recovery here, and that is almost a JV3. That is a very hefty 2 stock.
It's a few unarmed sidelights away from a JV3. And a very convincing match. At first, I was wondering if what Blue was doing against Pavelski was like, this is a player matchup thing. But Blue has a very clear game plan that he's been taking into every match that we've watched so far, which is starve your opponent of weapons completely, get them on either side of the map, chase them far enough off to keep them recovering, and every once in a while mix in the Qatar ground pound to really shuffle things up. And
now, all of that is good advice to play against virtually any player. Yeah, maybe not as much the Qatar ground pound.
When I think about it, it's definitely just like a smart flowchart of how to play.
Keeping your opponent weapon starved is rarely a bad thing.
But I guess the significance is, man,
oh my gosh,
is that Blue is making that happen, which is easier said than done. Let me say that, against multiple amazing players, and now opening it up with such.
Oh, he's still going. Flamethrower just hardly could touch down. Going in with the sideline, tries to get the signature read. Flamethrower gets away from it. You're seeing the signatures come out from Flamethrower, immediately punished by Blue.
Ooh, Blue opting just to keep on the edge of the stage. Wouldn't be surprised if he tossed that sword away and picked up the next one, but no, instead went for the mix-up. Allows Flamethrower to be unarmed while Blue is unarmed, but downlight and the gravity cancel neutral sig, why not? Blue playing exactly to his strengths. Blue's just a incredible player.
Now, Blue knew that he could hit that. It's a very tight window to hit, which is why you see a lot more people going for the D-Light into the unarmed recovery. But he knew he was on Shipwreck, which is a very high blast zone on the ceiling. And he knew exactly where Flamethrower was damage-wise on that stock. So that neutral heavy killed, but the recovery might not have taken that stock.
Nice little signature mix up the down sig. They're putting the side sig out in the opposite direction. Let's see what Flamethrower is going to be able to do to adjust to the way that Blue is playing, because Blue is definitely, it's like a battle of attrition, but also while actively being completely annihilated by Katars. But the down air, pivoting it, is able to catch Blue, and Blue using that recovery, realizing that the dodge was already gone. Ground pounds to his death faster just to be able to come back to the stage and find a new weapon. Flamethrower, will he opt to weapon starve? No, Blue is able to get him with a nice little punch. Picks up the sword. We haven't seen as much downlight punishing from Blue. So Flamethrower is definitely doing a better job than Pavelski when it comes to mixing up his landings. Shipwreck allowing him to live longer than, say...
Blue's unarmed game is incredible right now.
Yeah. And that's why when I made that out of left field remark where it's just like, yeah, Blue's an incredible player, it's because I was just talking about the playstyle he was doing, and it changed. It changed into this game where he's opting for more weapon throws, and he's doing more unarmed mix-ups to keep Flamethrower from being able to adjust on a game-by-game basis.
He's finding incredible priority. Like, you saw him find priority when Flamethrower had a
weapon. Hits. Oh, so close to being able to KO. And Flamethrower, despite the adjustments that Blue's making preemptively, is adapting fast enough to make this game 2 very close. And the downlight connects, goes for the dodge read, but Blue diagonally dodges straight through the one place that Flamethrower wasn't covering. And now in that edge guard situation, finds the recovery, doesn't take him off the top. Weapon tosses are being exchanged. It's so close. The raw haymaker comes out. Neutral Sig dodged and punished. Side air just barely KOs Flamethrower off the left side of Shipwreck Falls.
And I think we're seeing some of that unfamiliarity with Flamethrower's playstyle coming in, which is maybe why we aren't seeing as many downlights. Like Blue, I don't think he feels as confident with where he wants to place his downlights. We're not seeing the gravity cancel downlights that just have a complete read on Flamethrower's movement like we saw against Blue versus Pavelski earlier.
Flamethrower was so close to being able to make this completely even-handed. Was that a slide charge to unarmed down sig? I think it was. Either way, being able to pull out one of the... That's the unarmed move that people want to connect, but it's never optimal to connect, but he made it look optimal. I guess when you slide charge it, it covers...
That's the benefit of it, is it covers in front of you and behind you.
And it's active longer than, say, an unarmed neutral sig.
Absolutely.
So, actually, a very good use to be able to catch the landing there. Flamethrower put so much damage on the Blue as well. Side like a nice... Oh, he dodges in place, and Blue ready for it.
Yep.
Opting for the down signature. It's so similar in style to the side signature for Asuri, except instead of traveling forward where a spot dodge may very well